Hey folks, Maverick Watch Reviews back here with another review for you. Today we have the Citizen ProMaster Eco Drive Yachting World Time Watch, model number JR4037-04E. But first I want to thank Duty Free Island for this review unit. At Duty Free Island you get duty-free, tax-free, and free worldwide shipping. Duty Free Island only sells 100% authentic and genuine watches, and they're simply just a great bunch of folks to deal with. Do yourself a favor, go over there, check out their website, and get yourself a really good deal on a watch. Now, as usual, we'll open this thing up, look at the fit and finish, the features and the functions, the build quality, and then I'll give you my overall impressions of this really unique Citizen ProMaster Yachting watch. Now, again, I don't have the actual Citizen watch box, and there's a couple reasons for that. One, Duty Free Island didn't send it to me. And two, a lot of times if you want the actual original watch box, that's an extra cost with a lot of these overseas watch companies. They do it for a couple reasons. One, it saves them on shipping, and two, it's easier to get these watches through customs when you don't have a blaring, Citizen or Seiko watch box. It makes them less easier to steal. So that's one reason why, that's actually a couple reasons why they do that. Anyway, they ship it in this nice little bag. It has a foam insert, which I've already taken out all the extra padding inside of here. So let's take a look at this thing. All right. And as usual, you do get all the documentation. You get your multilingual Citizen manual, and of course you get your Citizen International Guarantee pamphlet here. So there you go. All right. As usual, we'll go ahead and put up all the specs on the left-hand side of the screen for you here, and then we'll go more in depth with this watch. You're looking at a 45mm titanium case. It's 14 millimeters thick. It's on a 20 millimeter leather strap. It's 100 meters water resistant, which is 330 feet. It has the C660 movement in it. It has an alarm, a chronograph, LCD day and date functions, which are down here at underneath 3 and 9, and a 24-hour display, a racing timer. It has a 4-year Eco Drive power reserve, insufficient charge warning, overcharge prevention function, a 6-month power reserve with that C660 movement, and a power save function. So this is a really, really interesting watch. Its looks alone really got me. I really love the way this thing looks. It's very unique. It's very different. It's very nautical looking, as you can tell with the big bright yellow half subdial over there. It's just a really unique looking watch. Why they put it on a leather strap, I'm not quite sure. I guess that's some sort of nautical theme. A lot of yachting folks wear watches on leather straps, I guess. I'm not sure. I would have much preferred this on a titanium bracelet. And I'm sure Citizen has a titanium bracelet that will actually fit this if you want to get one of those. Just a really interesting looking watch. Again, I love the yachting look and feel to it. Really interesting bezel. You have kind of a brushed base bezel with a highly polished numerals numbers here. Just a really good looking watch. I love the depth of the dial. It has a slightly domed crystal on here, which is really nice. Just a really interesting looking watch. The crown and the pushers, let's talk about the case and the crown and pushers. Case is really, it's mostly polished, I guess. Yeah, mostly polished. The crown and the pushers, I would much prefer those to be knurled, especially the pushers. The crown has these really highly raised crown guards, and it definitely does, protect the crown. This is not a screw-in crown. You just pop it out the sets of watch and pop it back in. Again, just a fantastic looking watch, but I do wish these pushers had been knurled for some extra grip on them, as well as the crown. The crown isn't really knurled, it just has these segments, kind of like this, like an octagonal segment where it doesn't have any knurling, where it's easier to grip. But again, the watch is great. Look, you got 3 subdials there. You have a 24-hour time over here at about 10 o'clock. You've got your, what looks like your probably chronograph function over here at 2 o'clock, and then a selector subdial down here at 6 o'clock. And if you notice, you pull the crown out, and you just, actually you don't even need to pull the crown out. You just twist it, and you can see that selector moving. And it just goes through all the different functions of the watch. You can see the watch change in different functions. Now, I'm not going to go into a real big how-to video with this, because there are a lot of different functions with this watch. And then you pull it out, and that pulls it out, and that sets it. So there you go. Now, the one thing about the LCD display is not big and thick like on Seiko. I mean, I'm sorry, on a Casio watches like the the Mudmans, the Rangemans, the G-Shocks. It's a very thin LCD. As you can see right here, down here about 4 o'clock, the actual numerals are just very thin. It's a super, super skinny LCD display on both sides. Of course, this says world time. You see where it says London right there. You can set this to different world times, and then the hands basically will follow what the LCD segment says. They're linked. So whatever the LCD hand says, that's what the analog. Whatever the LCD segment says, that's what the analog hands display. So they're totally connected, which is really nice. You can see some watches where they're not connected, where you have to adjust them independently, but these are actually connected. But it's just a really, really thin LCD. It's rather odd looking. Anyway, so let's check out the case back of the watch. Again, not a big fan of leather straps, but there you go. Nice laser etched case back. You obviously see all the different pieces of information there. The water depth, where it was made, all that stuff. This is also made in Japan, which is really cool. So anyway, I'm looking to see if this was a sapphire, and I can't see. It is sapphire. If you look right at the tip of my finger, you can see where it says sapphire. So this does have a sapphire crystal. I wasn't quite sure, but it does have a sapphire crystal. It also has a piece of plastic covering the case back right now, but it is a sapphire crystal. Really nice. So titanium and sapphire, two definite metals, or actually not just a metal, but two definite materials that you want in a nice watch. So there you go. Again, I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of functional stuff with this watch because there's just a lot of stuff to go over. I am going to see if I can try it on. I don't think it's going to fit. Yeah, it's not going to fit. But let's test out the lume real quick. Let me go ahead and kill the studio light. And it's not very well lumed. It basically just has a little tiny pip at each one of the indexes, and that's it. So let's take a look here. There you go. But it does have that classic kind of cobalt, light teal blue Citizen lume, which is nice. Let me see if I can get it in focus. There you go. So there you go. Love that color. I've always loved Citizen's kind of bluish lume. Good, there you go. All right, let me see. This does have a light, have a backlight. No, I don't see it. It probably does, but it hasn't been charging long enough to charge up the backlight. It's just allowing the certain functions, the regular functions of the watch, but it doesn't have enough power for the backlight. Anyway, turn the light back on here. There you go. Now, I would have really, really liked this watch if those LCD segments had been thicker. They're just really, really thin. It's hard to read it at a distance. They just need to be thicker. But again, I like it's a very unique, I've never seen a watch, especially from Citizen, quite like this. Just very unique and incredibly good looking. I don't know how functional it is. Again, I keep harping on this, but that LCD, the camera's not doing it justice. It's really thin. They need to make those segments thicker. Now, I think they stopped producing these last year. I can't remember. So they're very rare. They're hard to find. They definitely have them over there at Duty Free Island. Over at Duty Free Island, you can get one for $190. So definitely pick one up if you like the look of it. I don't think they're making them anymore. I have seen them nowhere else but over at Duty Free Island. So if you like this watch, definitely pick one up. Again, a great looking watch. You might want to swap out the strap for a stainless steel bracelet or maybe a NATO strap or something. But a really, really handsome yachting inspired watch. So anyway, so if you like this video, please click on like. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please do so. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers that I've gotten recently. I really do. Anyway, if you like this, go over there to Duty Free Island and pick one up. All right. Until the next review, I will see y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye.